How did you find me? Ursula, that woman has a big mouth. Look, I'm in no mood to tell someone my story. Leave now, before the moon turns full, and I transform. I can't control my actions then. Fine. What do you want to know? Yes, that little girl, Red. So you want to know my story, huh? Well, to tell it, you must know the truth. That I, like many in these woods, are a shapeshifter. During the day, I live as any human does. But at night, I transform into a wolf. It has been my people's way for as long as I can remember. Generations of wolves living in packs, protecting each other, and then walking amongst the humans by day. We mean none of you any harm. We love humans. We wish to live among you in peace and harmony. But at night, we must prowl the woods, where we can be free and wild. You wouldn't understand. You are not called to that life, like I am. It's a feeling that comes over me when the sun sets and the moon rises, where I must return to the woods that was my birthplace and howl at that beautiful moon and be free to roam and hunt and chase. We are all animals, reporter. I embrace my instincts. Do you? Anyways, we are getting off subject, for you want to know about Red, that little Red Riding Hood. I remember seeing her skipping down that trail, her red hood blowing behind her in the breeze. She was just a little girl then, naive, kind, but curious, so curious, always wanting to stray from the path. At the time I was living with my family in the woods. We were warned to stay away from the path. We could travel anywhere we wanted in the forest, where we could be safe. But the path, that's where the humans were. And all humans were not to be trusted when we took on wolf form. So I stayed away. I stayed with my kind. And it was in the woods that I met the love of my life. Ben was strong and wise and beautiful. We knew each other as children, grew up roaming the woods together. He courted me, and soon we were partners. It was a beautiful time, living in the woods together, cuddling together at night, and by day we would rise and dress and return to the living. But Ben was curious, just like that girl. He thought, if we could live amongst them during the day, why couldn't we at night as well? So over time, he began to mosey closer to that path, curious as to the girl who would walk down that path every Sunday to visit her grandmother. I told him not to interfere. We never interfere with those on the path, for at night we are seen as beasts. But this girl, she was curious. She wanted to be close to him. I could see it in her eyes. She had a hunger that burned red hot, and she would let nothing stand in her way of fulfilling those desires. She seduced him, slowly, eagerly. She ventured off the path, and they would travel together in the woods. I would follow, watching, too afraid to intervene. We had a huge fight that night. I asked him why he was spending so much time with this human woman. He swore to me they were just friends, but as I learned more about their friendship, I learned how dark and twisted her mind really was. She had been asking him to do things for her, terrible things, to scare other girls on the path, to chase men over cliffs. She wanted him to kill. I gave him an ultimatum. Either he'd stop associating with her, or we were through. I thought Ben loved me, but she had a power over him. It was like she'd wrapped him up in that red hood of hers and pulled so tight he couldn't escape. He was blinded to the fact that she was just using him, seduced by her rage and animal nature. So he left me, and he went with her, waiting by the path every night until she arrived. He was obsessed with her, and she knew it. So she kept asking him to do terrible things. And one day, she asked him to kill her grandmother. Why he went there, I'll never know. By that time, he was too far gone, too seduced under her spell. I can imagine the look on his face when he got there and realized it was a trap. She had led him into a trap. For when he got there, to her grandmother's house, a man with an axe was waiting for him. She claimed it was self-defense, that she arrived there with the man and saw the wolf trying to eat her grandmother. But I know the truth. I know what she did. That terrifying seductress that they call Red. I don't return to the world anymore. I stay in these woods day in and night, for I don't trust the humans anymore, and I never, ever dare go to the path where I might run into that woman they call Little Red Riding Hood. So, you've heard my story. What will you do with it? It don't matter to me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I best be going. The sun has set, and the moon is rising. If I was you, I'd leave the woods right now.